So here's what we've got at Ohio State. We've got Lincoln Kienholz, Julian Sayin, Aaron Noland, Mason Maggs, Will Howard, Chad Ray, and Devin Brown. Kyle McCord famously left quickly at the end of last season. Kienholz stuck it out. Kienholz was actually in the Cotton Bowl, right?
Yeah,
because that's when we were worried about Ohio State, and then all of a sudden McCord gets hurt, and they bring in Kienholz.
No, McCord had already transferred to Syracuse at that point. It was Devin Brown, I think, that took over for Kienholz.
Right. Yeah, you're
Yep.
right. You're right.
We got to go back and watch that.
So after their multi-million-dollar expenditures, they ended up with 2 freshmen, 1 sophomore, 2 juniors, 1 senior, and 1 grad student. And actually, Julian Sayin there, after I put this up, I was trying to get some more details on these guys. Julian Sayin has already transferred to Alabama.
That's so weird. For some reason today, I thought I saw that he transferred to Ohio State.
Oh, well, maybe I missed it then, because
Hang on. He transferred to Ohio State.
Did he transfer to Alabama and then to Ohio State?
No, it looks like he began his career as an early enrollee playing for Alabama and then transferred to Ohio State. Yeah.
Well, okay, so this is we're going to go on your analysis here.
Okay.
What do you think of these quarterbacks? And I guess the question should be for the same for each team. Who's your starter and who's your backup?
Okay, so I'm going to start with Will Howard. Will Howard to me feels like the starter. I don't know why Ryan Day would go into the transfer portal to get a quarterback if he didn't want to find one that would be the starter. Because we know that that's probably why McCord transferred to Syracuse, was because McCord went to Ryan Day asking for guarantees that he would get the starting position this year. Ryan Day said, no, you got to earn it. And you probably won't even get it. I'm paraphrasing or illustrating. I don't know. I'm making some of this up to kind of get the point across. And then McCord says, well, Syracuse sucks. I'll transfer there and I'll be a shoo-in. So Will Howard then transfers to Ohio State. I'm thinking he's probably the starter. But Julian Sayin, this is kind of wild. Why would they bring in Julian Sayin? Because Aaron Noland is supposed to be like the heir apparent. Like, he is a great quarterback prospect.
That's what I thought, yeah.
He's the total package. He is going to be electric. Why would they bring in Julian Sayin if Aaron Noland wasn't already doing enough for a backup role? And that being said, did Aaron Noland already beat out Devin Brown for the backup role or Lincoln Kienholz? So who is their backup? What is going on here? Who is going to be their quarterback? I guess my money is still technically on Will Howard because he's the most experienced, but Lincoln Kienholz got injured in the Cotton Bowl, and then Devin Brown came in and didn't really impress. That's okay. 75% of Ohio State's team opted out or transferred. If Aaron Noland is not playing as well as we thought he was, that's why I would think that they would allow Julian Sayin to come in, but I don't know. To me, it feels like there's not a lot of separation between the quarterbacks right now, and that's why they're just bringing in anyone that they can get at this point. Well, not anyone. Julian Sayin's not anyone. He's great. I think that, yeah, actually, go blue, go blue. I think they don't know what to do. I agree with that. I think that they don't know what to do with their quarterbacks. I think that there's 2 or 3 different styles of quarterback play represented by this list here. Will Howard is not a runner. Will Howard is a passer, and he's not even as much of a passer as Kyle McCord was. Will Howard's stats in 2023 are worse than Kyle McCord's. He doesn't run the ball. He has 11. The most carries he got in a single game was against Iowa State. He carried the ball 11 times for 46 yards and 1 touchdown. So I'm thinking there's some scrambling in there. They lost that game anyway, so they brought in Will Howard to replace Kyle McCord, and he doesn't even have as good a stat line as Kyle McCord. Julian Sayin and Aaron Noland are 2 completely different styles of quarterback. I don't know that they know what they're doing.
We got Will Howard blitz up the middle. He overreacts and throws picks.
Will Howard has 10 interceptions in 2023, and Kyle McCord had 6. Kyle McCord also had 24 touchdowns in 2023, and Will Howard actually also had 24.
This is interesting to me. Ohio State just wants extra insurance. It's smart on their part, but I don't think they'll be able to keep everybody, which is interesting because then that means that they've got 7 quarterbacks, which is more than everybody else on this list. Are they literally overloading because they know guys are going to transfer in spring?
Well, the only reason guys would transfer is because they're overloading. And I don't even know that this is the case. I think that Julian Sayin and Aaron Noland are both 5-star quarterbacks who play, I believe, the same style of quarterback. They can both run. They can both throw. They're the complete package. They're great quarterbacks. Lincoln Kienholz is not that quarterback. Devin Brown was not that quarterback. Will Howard, as good as he is with his arm, which ironically is not as good as Kyle McCord, is still not that kind of quarterback. Ryan Day doesn't have just a decision about quarterbacks to make. He's got a decision about what offensive philosophy he's going to take this year and what he's even going to do with his quarterback. If he chooses to go the Will Howard route because of the experience, then do Julian Sayin and Aaron Nolan both transfer? Or does Julian Sayin take a backup spot and Aaron Nolan transfers? And if that's the case, then you've got a quarterback who's your backup, but he plays a different style of offense than your starter. And so how are you going to sub him in or out? Somebody is going to play kind of outside their comfort zone. Whether it's Julian Sayin or Aaron Nolan, they're going to be uncomfortable. Now, Buckeyes battle cry here, he says Aaron Nolan is all in at Ohio State. I love that. And I want to believe that that's true, because that's, it's great to have that kind of a mentality from your players. But he says he's all in at Ohio State until Julian Sayin transfers in. Then what? I don't know.
So Go Blue asked the question. Let's tie this one up. So you're going with Will Howard as your starter?
I think Will Howard's going to start, and I think Julian Sayin will probably transfer.
Well, then who's the backup?
Either Aaron Nolan or Devin Brown, because I'm assuming Julian Sayin's there thinking that he's going to win the starting job, and if/when he doesn't, then I think he's out.
But guys, Battlecry says they both just got there. Neither of the two are leaving. Brown or Kienholz are likely leaving.
He's likely right, but we did just see a player transfer to Iowa and then back to Alabama within like 3 months. Nothing's impossible at this point. Sam Hartman's looking downfield for Adrian.
Carter almost has a one-handed catch.
Almost.